Hello, Ben. How are you doing? Thank you for calling in.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, what
Doing
was your
great.
question today?
My question was, I am going off to college soon,
Hmm.
and I'm in a relationship,
Perfect.
and so I was wondering if you guys had any advice or tips for keeping a relationship uh, pure and
Mm.
holy, especially in college.
Okay, well, I have a question for you. Um, Sometimes relationships are in the same location, like your girlfriend is near your school or in the same city, or maybe she's in Florida and you're in Omaha. So, how is this case?
We're going to the same school.
Okay. All right. Very good. Well, so like in general, first of all, it's if you're dating and you're seriously, dating and interested in hopefully figuring out if this will be your future spouse, it's always important to have in mind to put God in the equation. Right, so God has to be part of the relationship, and therefore one of the most important things is to keep your relationship pure. Right, so you want to not only hold your virginity until marriage, right, but also everything that leads to that, because impure sins are impure and mortal sins, even if you don't do something terrible that will jeopardize your virginity, right? So you want to always stay pure and help with a modest lifestyle and relationship, defend or protect your purity and also the purity of your girlfriend.
Yeah, yeah. I think you know prayer. Praying together and praying, having a strong prayer life, each one of you, right? That's important. And then also practicing the virtues in general that gets you stronger for moments of temptation. And then just be prudent, practical things, right? So if there is any, you can look back, right? If there is any situations in which you might fall, avoid those situations,
Right.
right? So that's why in the act of contrition we say avoid the near occasion of sin, right? So being prudent in that way, that really helps. But praying together, that's really powerful. And then having a strong prayer life and have a life of virtue in general.
Right. So I would say also I would add a little minor detail here. That is, if you realize that certain things lead you to desire your girlfriend lustfully or impurely, well, you have to avoid those things. Sometimes it is a hug. Sometimes it is whatever, a text message. Sometimes it is you yourself fantasizing in your mind. So try to when you are more when you feel you're weaker, to put a little bit more distance if you want, right? Because if you say, okay, I feel weaker, but I don't care, I'm strong, and I can do this, and I can support and stand strong in a temptation, well, know that you're going to be weak and fall. And that's why the typical, this is a rule, a spiritual rule, that they say to avoid particularly three types of temptations that we have to run away from are temptations against the faith, temptations against our vocation, and temptations against chastity, right? So those are areas where where we are so weak when we're tempted that we should not stay within the temptation, but just get out. Mhm.
Yeah, and any kind of sin against purity makes you get too close to one another in a way that you can't you can't see clearly,
Right.
right? And sometimes impure sins might get you too close that then you don't have time to mature together. You don't have you're not as objective as you should be, and that's why um, sex is something that is beautiful, but is something that is reserved for marriage because at that time you're ready for that.
Right.
But so you don't have to cut short your time of preparation because then that's dangerous for the marriage might not be successful if your courtship is not chaste, right? So chastity is not only good because you stay close to God. But objectively, it's much better to have a courtship that is chaste, even from the natural standpoint of we want to really know each other, and we want to learn to appreciate each other's gifts and to
Right.
communicate more, right? And impurity many times takes away from that.
Right, and actually, if you want your relationship with a girlfriend to grow and to become more personal, for you to know her as a person and for her to know you, actually staying pure is better, because many times impurity or getting too physical leads to the breaking down of the relationship, because it's only physical and it blurs out, it cuts out the personal, spiritual aspect of it, so it falls apart. So if you really want to be successful in your dating or courtship, it's better to keep it, from a human point of view, it's better to keep it pure. Very good. Well, thank you so much for calling in. This is a great topic of conversation and discussion. So thanks for calling in, Ben, and we hope to see you again.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Alrighty. God bless you. Take care.